Hi, I'm Sean from Data.
And I'm Paul from HP.
And in this video, we're going to look at installing, setting up, and commissioning our new A2 audio microphones. All right, Paul, let's get started. Can you pass me over the new A2 audio bridge?
Sure thing, Sean. Let's see what's in the box.
All right, so in the box, we've got the new A2 bridge in a non-plastic bag.
Completely recyclable.
With the new HP branding. You'll notice we have switches at the front, which will have different levels or classes of PoE. So we'll have PoE class 4, 5, 6, and 8. So you can toggle that depending on how many microphones. We'll refer you to the guide depending on how many microphones you have, what PoE is required. And then on the other side here, you'll see we have the different Phoenix banks, so 4 different banks, and of course our IP RJ45 port to connect to. Now, what else have we got in the box? We've got a piece of cardboard. We've got our magnetic mounting plate, which you can use to mount under the table, behind the wall, wherever you like. And that will mount to the A2 audio bridge, as well as the PoE injector, if you have that too.
And the slots for cable management. Now, one thing to keep in mind, these tabs here does have double-sided tape, but that's only for placement, not for permanent adhesion. So mount it under the table, utilizing double-sided tape, and then screw in.
Yeah. And we'll notice in the box as well that it actually comes with some mounting screws to mount that with as well. So we've got an RJ45 network cable, and we've also got a Phoenix cable, male to female. So that will be used as an extension between the bridge itself and your first microphone, if that's even required.
Now, what you also notice there, Sean, is all the mounting hardware doesn't come in plastic bags. They're put into the box,
or paper.
The cardboard. We're really looking into sustainability. We include Velcro straps that you can reuse to keep the cables tidy with the included plates.
As well as a mounting guide and things like that in there too. So we've got a 8-meter cable there, which equates to 26 feet for our Imperial cousins. And then we've got a 3.66 meter cable, which equates to 12 feet. Okay. Let's pop that.
Put that in the box. Put that over there, Sean.
Get out of the frame.
Now, what you'll also need is a microphone. This is the A2 microphone, the tabletop microphone.
Again, with some new HP branding on the box. So we've still got the Poly Studio as the category, but so HP.
Poly Studio is the new branding convention.
Yeah.
Branding convention for all the Poly peripherals. So Poly Studio E60, Poly Studio E70, Poly Studio A2 bridge.
Excellent. And again, nice cardboard box with no plastic. Packaging, no plastic in the packaging at all. First piece of cardboard. So first up, we've got our white microphone. PK, do you have a black microphone to pass us over and compare with?
Let me grab one for you.
Thanks, Paul.
There we go.
So we've got black and white, both the same size, both come with the same inclusions in the box. You just have to specify which one you want. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Sean.
Now, this comes pre-terminated with a... Oops, got 2 cables there. Pre-terminated with a male Phoenix to a male JST plug. So if I take the bottom plate off that, after I've undone the captive screws, I've done them all the way, you'll see here we've got some space to coil the cable up inside, as well as a red port and a blue port.
What you'll also notice, Sean, is the JST cables are color-coded, same with the one that's pre-terminated.
Yeah.
So you know which port to plug into.
Red port and blue port.
Correct. And it's important to plug them in because they are wired to specific locations.
And what's unique about this microphone as well, so we can coil that cable up in there and then have it come out the side. And then if we want to connect that second cable to daisy chain, I have a dexterity to do this. We'll plug that into the blue port. Get there if I had... Yep. Plug that in. We can then coil that around and then out the other side. Might get you to help me rip that piece of cardboard off, Paul. Oh, thanks, muscles. All right. So we'll plug the blue cable in. Nice clicking sound. Coil that around. And then out the other side. And with my third hand, I'll put that base cover back on, So I can then lock that in place with the screws and daisy the cable in one side, out the other side.
Now the purpose for that is, Sean, some tables you can't drill through, and we give the option for having top-mounted cabling, but we also have the ability of being able to route the cables through the bottom and into a mounting plate on the table, so all the cables are hidden and it sits on this magnetic plate, so you always know where that microphone sits on the table.
So the last cable that comes with is a female Phoenix to blue male JST plug. So that's if you wanted to daisy chain a longer distance between mic 1 and mic 2 instead of using the, what is it, a 1.8 meter cable that comes in that box, Paul? Which is the perfect length to separate the mics out by.
So that actually raises a really good point, Sean. You can always use even this cable. You can cut off the JST to a pigtail and then terminate Phoenix connector. And then this will allow you to make your own custom cable, which is purely a single pair shielded cable. Use the Phoenix plugs to extend the wires to the cable length that you want.
Now the other option is if you want to do it a little bit more professionally, if you're able to drill a hole in the table, like we've done here, we've actually got a hole through here to slip our cable through. So I've just done that on this end. I've actually tucked it through the center rather than out the side. Put that plate back on the base, and you can see that cable's hanging out the bottom. And yes, you can still have a daisy chain this way, so in one side, out the other. And that last piece that comes in that box is our magnetic mounting plate. So that fits perfectly into the base of the mic, and it also comes with some double-sided tape in the box, which is awesome. So we've stuck that to the table already, got our cable on it. If I was clever, I would have put the cable through the bottom of the table already. Oh, what would I do without you, Paul? Drop that through there, and then that will stick, if I rotate it the right way, into the magnet, not move around, and then I'd be able to leave it there. And then run it under to the other side of the table, and then terminate it into the next microphone. So that's the microphone end. So we've shown what's in the box, daisy chaining, screwing, cabling options, extensions. Paul, a question we get asked a lot is, can I terminate my own cables?
You definitely can. And to my earlier point, if you're ever wanting to make custom cable lengths, what we would recommend is you modify the existing cables that come in the box with the JST plugs, cut the cable to the desired pigtail length that you would like to have, and terminate a Phoenix port in the back of this cable here. Great thing with Phoenix connectors is that you do not need any specialized tools, any side cutters and a screwdriver. You'll be able to terminate the cables. Then as long as you've got the right cable, being a shielded single pair cable, you'll be able to extend the cables to the desired length that you need. Now keep in mind the maximum length that you can have is 144 meters. Now if you need more than that, we need to consider the room space itself, but you do have the ability of being able to extend this. Don't recommend re-terminating the JST. For ease of installation, re-terminate the Phoenix plug.
Excellent, thanks, Paul. So what I've got here now is the A2 audio bridge and our PoE Plus 45 watt power injector. So the same one we'll be using for the G62 standalone. So that's available as a poly SKU. Will be an IEC power cable to GPO to power it. And then out of it, obviously we have data in and data out. So what we'll do here is we'll wire this up. So we'll go PoE out from the PoE injector into that PoE in port on the bridge, like that. And then Paul, would you like to do the honors and hook up maybe 2 microphones? I think we've got the black one over there as well.
Oh, we can use this one here and daisy chain it.
The one we prepared earlier?
The one we prepared earlier.
Yep. Okay, Paul. So we've set them up now. Now we've got a white table microphone and a black table microphone. Now they're side by side just so we can show off in this video, aren't they? We wouldn't actually deploy them or recommend to deploy them that close to each other.
Yep.
Now, Paul, a question I get asked a lot is what happens if I mute one microphone?
Let's give that a try now. So if you mute one microphone, all microphones mute, including the onboard microphones.
So if you're using an X series or a V series all in one bar,
Yep.
it will actually work in a mesh with that bar as well?
Correct.
Correct.
And this is why we don't have individual microphone mute. The onboard microphones in these table mics are omnidirectional, and they pick up audio across that whole room space, and they utilize the audio from the strongest source, and that's what gets passed through.
So you're saying if I was sat down that end of the table and I muted my microphone, this microphone down here could still pick me up?
Correct.
So it's just keeping it totally safe, isn't it? Yeah. And it blocks that mic in the bar as well. So I guess now it's unmuted, we can see green.
Yep.
And in the bar that I'm looking at, I can see green as well.
Yep.
And then if we go red,
Press red.
for mute, the bar's gone red as well.
Yep.
Awesome. What if I, on the TC10, the touch control, if I hit the mute button on that, will that mute these microphones too?
Yes, it will.
Excellent. Excellent.
And what we're also demonstrating here, Sean, is the cables coming out through the side for a tabletop cable installation, as well as the cable coming out through the bottom. Installation is completely flexible for what the requirements are.
Yeah, and so this cable here comes in black and white as well,
Yes.
correct? Okay, so if you buy the black microphone, it comes with all the black cables.
Yep.
If you buy the white microphone, it comes with the white cables.
Correct.
And do you know if we can get those cables individually if we wanted to for whatever reason?
All the cables you need come in the box. You can get spare parts.
Yeah.
Reach out to your disty for those SKUs.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, Paul, so just confirming, the cable, the daisy chain cable, the JST to JST that comes with it, that's 1.8 meters long.
Yes, pre-terminated, 1.8 meters.
And what do we recommend is the minimum/maximum distance between the two microphones?
Yeah, so from 1.2 meters minimum up to 1.8 meters maximum.
Excellent. Okay. And I've actually dusted off these microphones. So we've got the IP table microphone with the RJ45 port that used to come with the G7500 codec. And I've also got the RJ11 expansion mic, which has that little RJ11 port in the bottom there. So, Paul, what's the difference between all these microphones?
Yep. So this microphone here is a analog microphone direct connect to the bar. You can use a cable adapter from RJ11 to RJ45 to extend this.
Is that this one I've got here?
That is the one that you have there, and you need a minimum of Cat5e cables in between there, up to a maximum of 30 meters.
So that will convert the RJ11 of the mic to RJ45 Cat5e, up to 30 meters, and then out of this into the Studio USB, the Studio X50, and the Studio X70, then the X52, X72, V52, V72, and that's still a current product.
That is still a current product. Now, the biggest difference with this is it is a single microphone expansion option only.
Yes. So if we were in a setup where we just needed one single microphone direct from the bar to the table, we'd go for the analog expansion mic.
Yep, definitely cost effective, easy to install, easy to configure, plug and play. 1.8 meter radius pickup audio from the microphone. So normally we would recommend it to be installed 3/4 down towards the end of the table to pick up that audio towards the back.
And I think that does have a red mute button on there as well. Excellent, thanks, Paul. Now the next one, which is similar size but a bit more boxy, we've got the IP table mic that comes with the G7500 codec. So what's the difference between this microphone and the new IP microphone?
Yeah, so the new IP microphones versus the old tabletop microphones that we had is a different architecture of cabling. These are point to point, so from the microphone goes back to the netgear switch or to the bar. Needs to be powered as well. The DSP processing is done on the mic, passing it through, whereas our new microphones are 2-wire shielded cable daisy chainable. And this is a maximum of 3, only supported on the G7500, G62, and X72. The new microphones with the A2 bridge supported on the X32, X52, X72, G62, V52, V72, and the direct connect microphone to the V12.
So anything generation 2, again being the 2 after the name, so 32, 72, matches with the A2 audio bridge.
Correct. This has a pickup of around 1.8 meters, and this has a pickup of around 4 meters if you have NoiseblockAI version 2 turned on, and 1.8 meters with no NoiseblockAI turned on.
Okay, Paul. So the IP table mic, that has been superseded by the new A2 table mic.
Correct.
So that will only be around while stocks last, and everything will move over to that. So Paul, ceiling mic.
We still have our G7500 ceiling microphones that are still being produced, still being sold as our in-market ceiling audio solution.
So those are the classic white golf ball poly mics.
Correct.
Excellent. So they work with the G7500, up to 3 of them.
Yep.
G62,
Yep.
up to 3 of them. X72,
Yep.
up to 3 of them. And then the V72 as well.
Correct.
Up to 3 of them. So they will require the Netgear AV switch
Yes.
as a bridge, I suppose, in that setup between the bar, the codec, and the microphone itself.
Correct.
Excellent.
It's been a pleasure, Sean.
An absolute pleasure, Paul. Until next time.
Till next time.